welcome back to the Yee podcast. It is May 12th, and we officially have a NASCAR rival.
Yeah, AJ. What the heck, bro? Knocking our boy out.
So before we get too deep into it, we've also got Brian on today's podcast.
What's up, guys?
So Brian is behind the scenes on everything and edits all the episodes. But first, we got to get straight into what happened this week at Darlington in NASCAR. So before we get too out in front of this, Brandon finished third, which I know we all want Brandon Jones to finish first. However, third is great. At the end of the season, we're just adding up points, so it's a great spot to be in. Why don't you break down for the guest a little bit the beef that we have with AJ Danger? His last name doesn't matter. Break it down for the people at home.
Well, for those of you who don't know, we are sponsoring a NASCAR in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The driver is Brandon Jones. So we're only doing 2 races this year. Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas, which is happening on May 22nd, I believe. And then Bristol in September. And so we're just that brand that only has 2 races, but we're just like diehard supporters of Brandon Jones now. And it's just so much fun. And we would encourage y'all at home to root for Brandon too, because everybody just kind of needs an excuse to root for somebody, because NASCAR is kind of interesting because it's like not necessarily rooting for your hometown or your home state. It's just like pick a driver and root for them.
Yeah, you got to get behind a driver.
And so this is just a great excuse for you to have a driver to root for. And Brandon's good. Like, he has a chance to win every week. So it's not like we pick somebody who's like always in the back. He's always like in top 5 or top 10 and always has a chance to run it in the lead. But anyway, this has happened once before with this guy. And so on Saturday, Hayden and I are watching the race at Darlington that Brandon won last fall. And there was just a caution flag, so there was just a wreck, and so Brandon there was just a caution, and Brandon was in the lead, right?
Yeah, well, he was at the end of stage. It was at the end of one of the stages, and so you get a stage point without getting too far into it. If you get first in one of the stages, you get a point, and that helps you for your overall season points. And so he got wrecked. Yeah.
So Brandon was in the lead, and then AJ comes up behind him. And some people were saying it was not a dirty move. They were like, "That's what Dale used to do all the time. That's why they called him the Intimidator." But I think it was a little bit dirty.
Well, for it to happen from the same guy, from AJ to Brandon 2 times within like 5 weeks, and both times Brandon was racing really well, had a great lead all for a good portion of the day. So, yeah, I mean, and then Brandon said, this isn't just coming from us, Brandon said something about it after the race. Brandon said, the quote was something like, "The respect's not there between me and the 16 car," talking about AJ. I don't know what it is, but for some reason there's just no respect. So, yeah, I mean, we went after AJ, and AJ immediately blocked us.
Well, we didn't go after him. Basically, Hayden and I were just watching, and we were just super pissed because Brandon was in the lead, and then all of a sudden he just gets hit from behind from AJ, which is just like not a clean move. And so I was like, let's just go to Twitter with it. And so you said something like, "What's with you messing with our boy?" Or what did you say?
Yeah, I said something along the lines of like, "Why do you have beef with @Brandon Jones?" And he immediately,
blocked us.
As soon as the race was over, like I guarantee you, he had his phone within 5 minutes after and blocked us, like 5 minutes after the race. But Brandon was able to recover. That's the important thing here. The first race, he wasn't. He was done for the day. And if your car wrecks and you can't drive it anymore, you're just done. Yeah. So all this work you put into it, it just doesn't matter. And so this one, he was actually able to recover, and he was lucky that Ty Gibbs was running behind him. Ty's on the same team, and Ty helped him out and didn't run into him. But, yeah, he ends up getting third. And AJ Dinger, whatever his name is, got 13th. So karma is sweet.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would encourage y'all to watch. It's pretty much every Saturday now. They're going to be going on a run on FS1. And we just had a blast rooting for Brandon because he got knocked all the way back to 12th. We were talking to Brian the other day, and he was like, "This is such an adrenaline rush, bro. I don't think I can watch this," because Brandon would go up to like 3rd, and then he'd like shoot back to 13th.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting to watch. I've never really gotten into NASCAR, but I was surprised, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's breaks in every sport. Like, you grow up watching sports. I didn't grow up watching NASCAR, but there's breaks. Like, even basketball, which is a back and forth game. Like, there's breaks. But NASCAR, there is. But I mean, it is like just thrilling the whole time. It kind of reminds me of horse racing a little bit, where it's like, for a little bit of time, like it's just all in, and so it's super fun to watch. So we have Dover, Delaware this weekend that Brandon's racing, and then next weekend after that, he will be racing in Austin, and so that'll be the first time the Yee car is racing, and we saw a preview of it too, and the car is sweet.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that it's coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. So everybody should plan to tune in. Or if you're in the Austin, Texas area, go to that race and see the Yee car in person. It's going to be awesome. Everyone on Twitter was like, I think there's a couple of people on Twitter that were like, find you a brand, find you a car sponsor that's going to like stand up for you every race of the year, even if they're only sponsoring you for 2 races.
Yeah, it's like you don't see like Lowe's marketing guy going after someone, or you don't see FedEx marketing team going after someone whenever they wreck Denny Hamlin. So, yeah, I mean that's what whenever we go into something, like we're going all in. So I think we're there. Brian, why don't you tell people a little bit about what we're doing next? Well, I guess this week, this week.
Whenever y'all listen to this episode on Wednesday, we will actually be out at the Circuit of America track. Doing some high-speed go-kart racing to hype up this race.
How fast do they go? How fast do the go-karts go?
Allegedly up to 55 miles an hour.
Oh, so that's scary for y'all probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
if you're
for me, definitely.
like if you're a bad driver like some people, I mean, then that's going to be really terrifying. But for a pro like me, I mean, I've been racing on NASCAR Heat for at least 4 months. So,
well, I'm going to be filming the whole thing, so I don't know if I'll get a lap in, but I'm sure we'll figure out something.
Can you imagine if Brian won while filming and just beat everybody? Like, that would be the most impressive.
We need to get some like first-person attached cameras on the go-karts.
We'll have some GoPros going.
Yeah, we'll have GoPros.
Like a live Fox Sports session with like a bumper, and it's just Hayden behind me, just like yelling.
I mean, I'm just going to wreck everybody.
I think we should call Brandon while we're out there, give him a rundown of the track.
Yeah, that's what we should do afterwards. It's like, so man, that third turn, it's real tight, and he's like, guys, y'all literally told me y'all don't even know what you're talking about.
Drives go-karts once. We're gonna be like coming to work the next day in like track suits.
So if you haven't recognized yet, we don't have a guest today, but that's okay. Well, Brian, I guess you're kind of a guest.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So did anyone get the chance to watch Saturday Night Live this weekend with Elon Musk? Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
I watched it. Yep.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a train wreck was Elon Musk's acting?
The humor wasn't quite there up to Saturday Night Live standards. But
well, actually, no, it's probably exactly on par with what SNL has been like the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, he definitely had an agenda he was going after. A lot of it is kind of behind Dogecoin right now in the cryptocurrency world. But
did they have like Dogecoin skits and stuff?
There was a few. I didn't watch it too closely.
Well,
to be honest,
can you tell listeners a little bit about Dogecoin, like the too long don't read version of what Dogecoin is?
It started out as a joke to kind of make fun of Bitcoin, I think, and I honestly don't know what I'm talking about either. But it's basically a cryptocurrency that you can use to trade, and I think some businesses are actually accepting it as forms of payment now, so that should be interesting.
So you have some Dogecoin?
I do. Yep, I bought it back in the day at 2 cents. Very proud of that.
He always leads with that. He's like, I bought it at 2 cents.
What's it at right now?
It got 40. Up to 75 cents this last week.
It's at like 40 something cents today.
40 or so, I think.
So I have a stay woke on that. So Elon Musk went on SNL, and it was at like 76 cents or whatever. And by the way, Parker and I don't know anything about this. So like we don't know anything about stocks or any of that stuff.
Speak for yourself, bro.
We were actually talking last night. We were like, let's make a pact to each other that we have to put $200 into something. So it won't be big money, but we're just like, dude, this went up. It's like you're only up $10 on what you were. But
Yee day traders.
Yeah, Yee day traders, like what we do whenever it's slow around here. So it was at 76 cents or whatever whenever SNL started. Then it tanked. Yep. So then it went back up a little bit yesterday on Sunday, I guess, or maybe today or whatever. So the stay woke on that is that Elon Musk tanked it on purpose so he could buy more. And then he tweeted an announcement that you will now be able to use Dogecoin to pay for the first trip to Mars or the moon. It's on his Twitter. I can't remember where it is, but he basically wants to take people. I think it was to Mars. And so,
wow.
And so I think he knew what he was doing. I think he tanked it and then drove it back up, and he probably bought low.
Well, they say a lot of people will buy the rumor and sell the news, and that's why whenever something like that happens and he announced it, everyone's gonna sell because they think it's reached its peak. But I'm holding strong. We're coming back up. We're going to the moon. Dogecoin.
To the moon.
I'm gonna buy some right now. I'm trying to remember my login.
He's literally trying to log into his Wells Fargo account over here. That's one of those things that Wells Fargo immediately calls you, and they're like, "Did you mean to put $500 into your Robinhood app that you just downloaded?"
Absolutely, I did.
Stocks only go up.
That's right. That's our saying
Stonks.
around here. Stonks.
The other news that happened this week that we're talking a little bit today about things that just have been happening. Maybe not, like I said, we don't have an interview or anything like that. But the big news is, so last weekend or 2 weekends ago, I guess, whenever this comes out, the Kentucky Derby happened, and there was a horse that won it. And the story behind this horse is super cool. Whenever he was a yearling, whenever he was 1 year old, his name's Medina Spirit. And these horses at 1 year old are sold a lot at auction. And a lot of times it's like anywhere from 100,000 to 300,000, from my understanding. Like sometimes it's even more. And this horse was taken by the owner, and it was taking too much time. Like the owner, they didn't have enough time to train the other horses. They didn't see much promise in it. So the lady sent it to auction and said, just get whatever for it. I don't care if it's $1, just get whatever you can for the horse. Well, minimum that a horse can get at these auctions or at this particular auction is $1,000. So Medina Spirit was bought as a 1 year old for $1,000 and then turned around at 3 years old and won the freaking Kentucky Derby, which is like the coolest story ever. However, this week a story comes out that like the horse is juicing. The horse is taking steroids, which is just the craziest thing for a horse to be. I mean, obviously it's the trainer, but a horse was accused of taking steroids. So I don't know if they're going to strip it or what.
I bet there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes when there's I mean, I guess there always is when there's that much money on the line.
Right.
And it's so interesting when you're including animals in that. It's like the one sport that's like, right? Is that the only sport that's like completely contingent on the actual animal?
Well, it's really I mean, yes, but it's very contingent on the trainer. That's like a big deal in horse racing.
The
You've
trainer
also got
or
like
the jockey on the back of it?
the jockey's not as big of a deal. It's the trainer that's the main thing. But the jockey does.
Yeah, the
matter a
jockey
little
is
bit.
just be as light as possible,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and like greyhound racing, but that's getting outlawed a lot. And it's on the big scale. It's definitely horse racing.
What were you gonna say, Brian?
I always thought I could be a jockey one day in a different life.
How much do you weigh?
Like 140 or so.
You're gonna have to cut some pounds.
Yeah,
Dude.
those guys are probably like what, sub 115.
I mean, gotta be, dude. We went to the horse races actually on Kentucky Derby. There's a Lone Star Park in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and some buddies and I went, and I've always wanted to go, and it was awesome. It was a big day because the Kentucky Derby was going on, obviously in Louisville, but at Churchill Downs, but they still had a bunch of races at Lone Star Park in Texas, and it was like thrilling. It was awesome, but we were up against the fence, and every single one of these jockeys looks like the exact same stature. They all look the exact same. I mean, they've got to be. I think that they're 115 or so. They were tiny.
It's such an interesting dynamic because like horses are like a classic American like farm animal, and like I remember growing up and girls like people love horses.
Oh yeah.
Like they're basically humans. Like people love them like they love their dog or more.
Oh yeah.
And so like I bet I'm curious as to like what people who like just really love horses and have like a really intimate relationship with them think about horse racing in general and like the training that they go through. I guess there's good and bad people in every industry, but I could see people looking down on horse racing.
And that was what I was going to say is that's what's kind of happening now from my understanding. Like horse racing, of course, the PETAs of the world and everyone has always hated horse racing, but now there's a lot more scrutiny I enjoy horse racing. Like I love like betting on it whenever I go to the races. It was a blast, and it's fun to watch. Like whenever the Kentucky Derby comes around, it's really fun. But I think that there's a lot of scrutiny coming down right now, and it's like, well, what else is happening? Like at the Kentucky Derby guy, this happened to him. Like here's my question. How did this go from $1,000 horse to the winner of the Kentucky Derby? And I don't think that it was like straight up steroids. It was something that was banned or what. I don't remember the details, but basically they're trying to fight it. The trainer, who's Bob something, he's a legendary trainer, and he's trying to fight it. Like he's saying that it's a witch hunt on him. So I don't know. All I know is that my bet on Medina Spirit already cashed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so
I wonder what that does to all these bets.
I just don't know if it already cashed, like, or if I would be ticked if I lost. That's the thing. If I had like the second place, I would be mad. But I don't see if the horse already won, I don't see how you're gonna get people. Imagine going to Vegas and putting a bet down, and then like 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, they say, "Oh no, you got to come back and give your money back." Like that's not happening.
But would they refund the people that lost the bet? Maybe.
So, and that is what could happen. I don't know, because it just depends on what you do. Does that horse go down as a Kentucky Derby winner with an asterisk, or do you completely strip it of the Kentucky Derby win and give it to the second place? I'm interested to see how that'll happen. I don't think they're going to do anything. It's kind of like the baseball players. Whenever Barry Bonds, I mean, he has an asterisk, but he's still the leader of home runs if you look in the Hall of Fame and the record books. So, yeah. So elsewhere on the internet, something that came across yesterday on Twitter, I saw. Have y'all seen the tiger?
I haven't seen that.
Have you heard about the tiger?
I saw a headline that a tiger was loose in Houston.
Let me tell you about the tiger. Have you heard about this? So it's in Memorial, which we're from Texas, so we're fairly aware of that neighborhood, but it's a very nice neighborhood in Houston. And straight up, this tiger was like on the loose walking through a very nice suburb of Houston neighborhood. And there was like a sheriff's deputy that came, and he was off duty. He was in civilian clothes, but he had like gun drawn on the tiger and everything. And it was like crazy. Can you imagine just walking down your neighborhood, like going for a jog? This is like middle to upper class central, like moms just going on jogs, and there's just a tiger.
Do they know how it got out?
So a guy ended up coming and getting the tiger, and he like kissed it on the forehead, and he was like trying to yell at the sheriff's deputy, like, chill out, and he brought it into a house. And so I presume that he lived there, and they were interviewing people, and the person that lives like down the street, one of their neighbors, said that they keep to themselves, which is always, they always keep to themselves. They're really quiet.
Definitely a tiger owner.
Yeah, definitely.
What is this, The Hangover?
If you're quiet and keep to yourself, you're definitely a tiger owner. Well, this neighbor said that they saw a monkey in the window one night whenever they were walking by, and thought, that's kind of weird, but monkeys can be domesticated, but a tiger.
Oh, that is scary. I would not want to be on that street.
Classic, like a random guy who just comes up and like kisses it and then just gives it a big hug and takes it in. By the way, there's just certain human beings that are just wired like that toward wild animals for some reason.
What a power move too, to just walk up, kiss this thing on its forehead, and then just leave.
That reminds me of Talladega Nights with the cougar. And they just have the cougar in the car.
Yeah, it's funny too, because about a year ago this time was Joe Exotic and the Tiger King. So Joe Exotic giveth, and he taketh away 1 year later. They ended up getting the tiger back inside, and I think that the tiger's good, but they didn't find out who it is. He walked into this house, so I assume that he lives there, but then I saw another article where he sped off with the tiger. So I think that it's all just like kind of hearsay right now, but crazy. If we can, we'll add the clip into this podcast.
Right now, a Memorial neighborhood getting a lot of eyeballs because of this. Yeah, you're going to want to take a closer look. You're looking at a tiger roaming right in front of a home in a neighborhood there.
Parker, why don't you talk a little bit about May outlook with Yee Apparel products? Talk about the summer launch. I know that we've got a little bit of a layoff in between now and the summer launch. Just talk to the listeners a little bit about what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, we just dropped some American flag belt buckles that were about 8 months in the making. So those are live in the store. And I also launched there's a white t-shirt with a cool American flag font that we just launched. And then also this hat I'm wearing right here. It's kind of out of focus because of the way we have the camera today. But we brought back this old classic black hat with the white shotgun patch. Granger asked for it to come back. And I don't know, people listen to what he says around here for some reason. So I brought this one back. And yeah, is there anything else coming that I'm forgetting until June?
We don't know when we're going to drop the Canada shirts.
Oh yeah, we have the Canada shirts ready to go.
Yeah, so it's a gray shirt with like a worn red maple leaf. It's really cool. And it says Yee. And so Parker handles all the product development for now, and I don't do any of that stuff. It's not really interesting to me. Parker crushes it, so I don't really want to do that. But this is one of the only, I think in like 2.5 years here, I've only designed, I think, 2 shirts. And they looked, by the way, the exact same. It was the shirt of the month, the 4-leaf clover or 3-leaf clover. And then this shirt, And so a lot of people have always been asking from Canada, because I run the marketing, I see it. Like, can we get some Canadian stuff? Y'all only sell American. So we know that we've got a lot of Canadian fans. So I need y'all to buy this shirt so that we can do more Canada stuff in the future.
We also have a black crew hat. It's like an exclusive limited edition crew hat that the Brandon Jones team is going to be wearing for sure the Circuit of the Americas race, and then the oops, my alarm just went.
Oh, party foul.
That's my alarm to go. So anyway, thanks for listening. No, just kidding. So we have the there's a black crew hat that the Circuit of the Americas guys are going to be wearing. Brandon Jones' team is going to be wearing at Circuit of the Americas in Bristol, and it's like a cool flex fit on the inside, but it's still a snapback. So they're super premium, super nice, and it says Brandon Jones on the side. And then we have like the official B. Jones, Joe Gibbs Racing number 19 crew shirt that will launch probably in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we're
that'd be
excited
cool.
about those.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
That's
cool.
going to be awesome. And then we're in pre-production right now for all of our summer launch content coming early June.
Yeah, when's the summer launch? It's June 18th.
June 18th, yep.
Yeah. So June 18th, I know that we have a little ways to go for that launch, but we like to give you all this time to recover, and then we'll be back. This launch is awesome. We've got some new products that we're really excited about. We'll talk about it whenever it gets a little bit sooner. Then we're also going to finish out this episode with the fantasy rankings. By the way, real quick, I've been waiting for someone's phone to go off in a podcast, and I was just hoping that it wouldn't be me. But we got 9 episodes into this show, and Parker finally did it.
There it is. Someone won some money somewhere.
Yep.
Cool. So the fantasy topic this week, the fantasy ranking topic, is a fun one. It is the best TV show theme songs of all time. It doesn't have to just be TV. It can be like streaming platform. You already have a question? What's your question?
I was asking if I could go first.
Yeah, you're gonna go first. You're gonna need it.
Yes.
I already know what your first pick is gonna be,
I
but
know.
so it can be a show. It can be on HBO. It can be on Fox. It can be anything. It can be a little bit of anything. So
You ready?
we'll let Brian go first.
All right, and I'm pretty notorious for having bad fantasy picks, but I'm confident about this one. So my first one's going to be Full House.
Ooh, I did not think you were gonna
Whenever
say
that one comes on, it's definitely a sing along.
Everywhere you look, everywhere you go.
So that's my first pick.
Somebody.
I just think of Joey Gladstone like turning around and doing that little look to the camera.
It's been on Brian and I's list to write out a funny Yee commercial to that theme song with everybody in the office. We'll do that soon.
Like every sports team ever has done that, and so I think that it's so cool that song is legendary, but I think that it's gotten even bigger the last like 5 to 10 years because it's so fun to like take your 5 starting players on a basketball team and just make them do that, Okay, I'll go next. My first pick for best theme song is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Bel-Air? Why did I just say
Bel-Air.
Bel-Air?
The Fresh
Bel-Air.
Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm going to do that again.
No.
Yeah, I am. Cut this. My second pick. Oh my gosh. I act like I've never done this before.
Once you know you have a backup plan, then you just start messing up.
Okay, cut. My first pick for the best TV show theme song is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's legendary. Like, everyone knows the first few clips. It's not necessarily the best show of all time, but that song comes on. Everyone knows it. Like, I would argue probably right now, I'd guess that all 3 of us know every single word to that song. It's like just the most legendary theme song. So, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Did y'all both grow up watching that?
Yeah. Yeah, I had every season on DVD.
Was that like, what was it, like 94 to when was the last episode?
I think it was a little bit earlier than that. I think it was like 92 to like 96 maybe.
Yeah. Because I remember watching it not when it was like the episodes were
Right.
just coming out, but
Yeah, we were a little
when it had
young
been out
for
a
it.
while.
We were a little young for it. I think you and I, Brian,
Yeah,
definitely was
definitely
too young
younger.
for it. But all right, what you got, Park?
All right, my number 1 is Friday Night Lights.
The show?
Yeah.
I think that would have been there later on in the draft, but you do you.
well.
Can you sing it for it a little bit? Like, can you hum it?
No,
Jog my memory.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Because whenever I think of Friday Night Lights, I think of the Explosions in the Sky song from the movie, but not the show. Okay. Well,
All right, ready for my
it's
next
your
one?
first pick. Why don't you go, Brian?
All right. Now this one might be my best one, and it is Cops. The TV
Oh,
show.
that one's good.
Yep.
Dang, that's a good one. I would have never thought of that.
Yep.
That's one of those that like doesn't. You don't really think of it as being a
Mhm.
show, but it is.
Yeah. That when that intro comes on, like everyone sings along.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, well now we can't. I don't know if we're gonna be able to use this. Oh, okay, so that's Explosions in the Sky.
No, it just sounds like them.
I'm almost positive that's Explosions in the Sky. Okay, that's enough.
Best show of all time. It's never enough.
Is that someone let us know if that song is Explosions in the Sky? I'm pretty sure it is. They did the main song in the movie of Friday Night Lights and the show. My second pick is going to be Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I don't know if we may have some listeners that haven't watched that show. I think it's one of the best shows of all time. Larry David, who created Seinfeld, is the main character, and he also wrote the entire show. And it is incredible. But the song, it goes wow bow 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 da-now, 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 boop. So just look it up. All right, your pick.
Mine is Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, that was on my list too. That's an easy one. That one will probably win Parker this entire thing, even though you've had really good picks. All right, last round. What do you got?
My last one, I'm gonna choose Big Bang Theory.
Ew.
Boo!
I know you guys don't like that show.
I think
but
it's the most overrated
the-
show
the
of
intro,
all time.
The intro is cool.
What does it go like?
Brian, I thought we were on the same page with TV humor because we both like The Office.
Well, I'm not saying the show's great. I'm saying the intro is good.
I think Brian just
Don't
threw
they go
away.
hand in hand? Interesting.
Is that the one that's like,
How does it go?
Our whole universe is in it. Yeah.
Hot and steam. I don't forgot the rest.
And then it's like, it
Brian's
basically.
gonna get hate speech on the Instagram post of this one.
That's all right.
Mm.
What was your second pick?
Cops.
Okay. Cops was good.
Oh man, I'm really torn. I have so many good ones. I'm gonna go with a dark horse that y'all definitely wouldn't have picked, but it reminds me of my childhood. The Golden Girls. Remember that show? Betty White early in her career?
Yes.
And I don't remember any of the other girls' names, but it's like, thank you for being a friend. And then I don't remember after that, but it's always like, that reminds me of my childhood because my dad and I used to watch the Golden Girls together. Like, it's just, I don't know why, but that was a big fixture of my childhood. So, all right, last pick in the draft.
Game of Thrones.
Saw that coming.
Yeah, that was on my list too. That's a good one. That one just like reminds me of Sunday nights.
Yeah.
Because the Game of Thrones came out.
Game
on
of Thrones
Sunday
saved
nights.
a lot of Sunday scaries.
Yeah, it did. One that I think we're gonna get a lot of crap for missing is Cheers and MASH. Cheers,
That's
yeah,
a good one.
MASH. What is the name? Suicide is Painless is the name of that song, and it's like a legendary song, and they use that. That was a good one. Cheers is possibly the top one, like overall. If you think about just in the grand scheme of things, Cheers is probably top. SpongeBob, we missed that one. Family Guy, Simpsons,
The Flintstones.
The
That's
Flintstones,
another good one.
The Jetsons. Moving on up.
Oh, we're getting old.
Jeopardy, Twilight Zone, Seinfeld, Friends,
Lots of good ones.
Andy Griffith, Drake and Josh. Drake and Josh. I almost used
Oh, that's a good one.
I almost used Drake and Josh on the last one, but I didn't think that our older viewers would really know about that show because that was like in the height of me being a middle schooler, but I was almost even too old for that. And then a dark horse that I almost did, Monday Night Football. I'm not sure if it would have qualified because it's kind of an event more than a show, but Monday Night Football is a legendary sound. Any others that y'all left off?
I always loved the vibe of True Detective season 1
Mm.
with Matthew McConaughey. I always thought the intro was so cool. It was such a creepy show. And I'm not usually a creepy show guy, but I just felt like that was done so well.
Another one is Law and Order.
Oh yeah,
Classic.
yeah. Also,
Bum, 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 bum.
wait, is CSI the Who Are You by it's Baba O'Reilly by The Who?
I don't know. That is way over my head, to be honest.
No. You know the song.
No, I don't.
I've already sang too many. Can you do it real quick?
I don't know it.
Who are you? Who? You know what I'm
No.
talking about.
I have no idea what you are talking about.
Okay.
Walking Dead is another one.
Yeah, that would be a lot better if the show was good. All right. We'll be back next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify or all the other streaming spots, make sure you follow us and share it with a friend.
Yeah, it helps.
Go
us out
Brandon
a lot.
Jones.
Go, Brandon.
Saturday at Dover.
Thanks for coming on, Brian.
AJ
Thanks
Allmendinger.
for having me.
We're going to wreck you.
Eat your veggies.